I'm Tomlyn Nicholson. This is Tuesday, January 13, 2026. An incident unfolded in Portland where Border Patrol agents shot at a vehicle driven by a Tren de Aragua gang member and his wife involved in a prostitution ring. The suspect tried to run over the officers, prompting defense fire. The FBI is now on site investigating the clash in this sanctuary city. Newly released documents show Jack Smith's team approved a $20,000 payment to a confidential informant in 2023 for information supporting the Arctic frost probe into Trump's 2020 election challenges. FBI Director Kash Patel provided the memos to Congress, highlighting senior officials' involvement in the decision amid ongoing scrutiny of the investigators' methods. Larry Kudlow highlights a potential Trump economic boom, predicting 5 to 7% GDP growth in 2026 after strong recent data. He credits Trump's policies for outpacing economists' forecasts and bending global arcs towards freedom, especially post-Venezuela intervention. Conservative commentator Benny Johnson announced plans to investigate alleged massive fraud in California, claiming the state has lost billions in COVID relief and SNAP benefits under Governor Newsom's leadership. His team heads to California next week to expose what he calls systematic issues far worse than Minnesota scandals, sparking a public feud with Newsom's office. Minnesota's massive fraud scandal has deepened following a new audit uncovering document fabrication and a cover-up in misuse of federal funds. This comes amid a broader crackdown with a fraud czar deployed to the state and plans to target California next. Chaos erupted in Los Angeles' Westwood neighborhood when a U-Haul truck drove into a crowd during an anti-Iranian regime protest, injuring at least one with no serious injuries reported as demonstrators scrambled for safety. Police detained the adult male driver amid attempts by protesters to confront him, and the FBI has joined the LAPD investigating the motives behind the incident. Stephen Moore celebrates real wage gains with average family incomes up $1,200 above inflation over the past year. He points to the household job survey showing record employment and 200,000 new workforce entries as proof of a robust labor market under Trump. In New York, a staggering $1.2 billion health fraud scheme has been exposed, described as 10 times worse than Minnesota's. Investigators point to a systematic abuse in government programs, prompting calls for nationwide audits. Federal Reserve Jerome Powell is digging his heels in, refusing to resign despite DOJ subpoenas and allegations of misleading Congress on rate policies. Reagan warned this could drag on, but questions the strength of criminal charges tied to his inflation-fueling money printing during COVID. DHS officials are slamming sanctuary politicians for an unprecedented surge in assaults on ICE agents, attributing the violence to radical rhetoric that encourages obstruction and attacks during operations. 2 Wisconsin teens were killed in a crash caused by an illegal immigrant drunk driver with a prior conviction, shielded by Minnesota's sanctuary policies. Federal authorities assert the tragedy was preventable without such protections. Southern cities lead U.S. appreciation, with 8 of the top 10 markets in low-tax, right-to-work states. Some tie this to migration trends, with Texas topping inflows as people flee high-tax Democrat areas for economic freedom. Federal prosecutors have charged aliens with illegally voting in U.S. elections and falsifying citizenship applications, highlighting vulnerabilities in the system amid ongoing debates over election integrity. Republicans are ramping up investigations into big government fraud, while Democrats face backlashes over an ICE officer's justified shooting of a suspect in a vehicular assault. New evidence supports the agent's actions against false narratives.